Today in class you did lesson 2-7, U.S. Traditional Multiplication, Part 3. Students used U.S. traditional multiplication to multiply two-digit numbers by two-digit numbers. So we've been practicing the traditional model, which looks like this. Let's say I have 15 times 3. First, I need to do my 3 times my 1 place. So 3 times 5 is 15. I have to place the 5 into my 1s because I can't have 15 1s. And then I carry my 1 to my 10 spot. My next step is 3 times my 10s. So I was given 110, 3 times 1 is 3, and then I need to add 110, which is 4. So 15 times 3 is 45. We then went a little further, we did 3-digit and we did 4-digit, which looks like this. Again, I start with my 1s place. 8 times 4 is 32. I can't put 32 1s here. I can only put the 2. And then I wrote a 3. I can only put a 2, and I carry my 3 up to the 10 spot. Next, I do my 4 times my 10s. So 4 times 8 again is 32. I have to add the 3 at the top, 32, 33, 34, 35. So now I have 35. My 5 goes there because I can only stick up to 9. And then I carry my 3 again. Step 3 is your 4 times your 100s. So 4 times 4 is 16. Plus my 3 at my top, 16, 17, 18, 19. Again, my 9 has to go in my 100 spot, and I carry my 1. Now, I have to do my 4 times 2, so my 4 times my 1,000. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 2,488 times 4 is 9,955. Today what we practiced, as I erase it all, was two-digit by two-digit. And there's some extra steps because you now have that second digit you're multiplying by. So if I had 31 times 73, I start just like I did before. My 1s, so step 1, that's what I'm doing in red, is my 1s times my 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Then, step 2, I'm doing in orange, is my 3 times my 10s. 3 times 3 is 9. Now I'm done with this 3. I'm crossing it off. I'm no longer using it. Because I'm no longer using it, I need to place a 0 as a placeholder. Don't forget that 0 as a placeholder. Watching you guys today, that is our biggest mistake. We miss where that 0 goes. So step 3 I'm doing in green. You write your 0, then you do your 7 times your 1, which also is 70 times 1, which is 7. So 7 times 1 is 7. So I bring it down here. Now, your last step for this problem is 3 times 7, which is 21. And I can just write 21 down there. Then your fifth step is to add them. 3 plus 0 is 3. 9 plus 7 is 16. 6 goes in my 10 spot. I carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then 2. So 2,263. Now let's look at what your homework is. It says estimating and multiplying. Make an estimate for each multiplication problem. Write a number sentence to show how you estimated. So this is your first step for each one, right here in the red. So number 1 is done for you. They looked at the 10 spot and they rounded down because they had a 3 next to the 2 and a 1 next to the 4. And when we estimate any numbers 0 through 4, we round down. So your whatever you're looking at, so in our case the 10 stays and then you write a 0. But 5 through 9, you round up and your numbers will change. So now I have to do the traditional. It says, then solve only the problems you have answers that are more than 1,000. Use your estimates to help you decide which problems to solve. Use U.S. traditional multiplication to solve at least one of the problems. Show your work. Highlighting that. Show your work so we can give you credit. Because sometimes we make a mistake and it's just a simple math error. If we don't see your work, we can't give you credit for it. So my first one, it says, then solve only the problems that have answers that are more than 1,000. So our key word that I'm underlining in green, let's start, it's in red still. More than 1,000. Is 800 more than 1,000? No, so I don't have to solve that one. I'm going to cross it right out so I don't get confused. My next one says 72 times 56 equals. So first I have to estimate. So I'm looking at the ones because this only has 2 digits. So to round we need to look at the ones. So 72, it's between 1 and 4, so I'm going to round down. So my 7 stays and I write a 0 for the 2. Times 56. 6 is between 5 and 9, so my 5 changes to a 6 and my 6 turns into a 0. Equals 7 times 6 is 42, and then I add 2 zeros. And then it says solve that are more than 1,000. I need to solve this one. So I'm looking at the bottom. I'm going to use the U.S. traditional model to solve. So first, 6 times my 1s is 6 times 2 is 12. Carry my 1. My 2 goes in my 1s column. Next, I have 7 times 6, which is 42, plus 1 is 43. My 3 goes in my 10s, and the 4 is in the 100s. Now, I'm crossing this 6 off. I'm done with it, and I'm placing a 0 underneath. 5 times 2 is 10. Put a 0, carry the 1. Now, don't get confused and think that's another 1. If you need to, cross it off. We don't need that one. We just need the green one. Then I have 7 times 5 is 35, plus 1 is 36. And then I need to add. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry my 1. And my answer is 4,032. That's pretty close to 4,200. Do number 3 on your own. Remember to look at your 2 and your 5 to estimate. Let's go to 4, 5, and 6. I want you to do 4 by yourself, and we're going to do 5 together. So I have 63. I'm looking at my 3, and I need to round down to 60. Times, and then I have 39. I'm going to round that up to 40. Which that equals 24 and 2 zeros, so 2,400. Mr. Board's writing too big, but the 2400 is your estimate for 5. So now I have to go through 9 times 3, because it's greater than 1000. 9 times 3 is 27. My 7 goes in my 1s. My 2 is carried. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus 2 is 56. Now, I'm done with that 9. I'm crossing it off, and I'm adding a 0. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 6 is 18. And then I add. 7 plus 0 is 7. 6 plus 9 is 15. Carry my 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. Plus 8 is 14. Carry my 1. 2,457 is very close to 2,400. 6 you need to do on your own. 91 times 46. Estimate first, then solve whatever way you choose. Your practice at the bottom is showing you exponential multiplication and standard multiplication. And you even have expanded exponent notation. So 7 times 10,000 is 7 with the 4 zeros, because we know anything times 0 is 0, and the only number is 7. So then it says 7 times 10 to the 4th power. That means 7 with 4 zeros. Same number. Now B, you're going to multiply through. So I'm going to show you, first do those, then the exponent. Same with these. It'll make it easier. Plus, if you remember PEMDAS, you need to do your exponents first. So you would have to take 10 to the 2nd power, which would be 100, and then 10 to the 3rd, which would be 1000. But the way I showed you is just a little bit of a trick that will help you, because you're multiplying, it'll be a little different.